What's going on? This preaching. So, oh man, today is Sunday, right? So, after getting the pump fixed and everything, I still had one code, but he's saying that after it has to run through a cycle a couple of times to get the parameters right. But we'll see. We'll see with everything. And he explained to me the code. And when I talked to my mechanic about the same thing, he basically said the same thing that the other mechanic said as well. Said unless I want to do sit out there and do 3 to 4 regens, and each regen is taking about 45 minutes to an hour to do, or I can just go ahead and ride and then have the truck naturally do it, and then everything would be set right. But he checked everything else out right. So I was like, okay, well, you know, my mechanic basically said the same thing that he said. My mechanic just was like, you know, if I wasn't stuck on the side of the mountain on the road where I was at, he probably would have did something like that too. He said, but if you paying $185 per hour and now you want him to sit out there for another 2 to 3 hours, well, that's at $185 an hour too. Or do you just want to just run for the next like 2 to 3 days and have it does the cycle that it needs to do? He said it's not going to hurt nothing. It's not going to hurt your motor or anything like that. It's not going to hurt the new pump. It's not going to hurt your EGR, your SCR. It's not going to. He said we just talking about the time thing. So the guy was actually trying to save you $600. I said, well, okay, cool, because you know I spent $4,700. It was like $4,684. I'm just rounding up to 47. That's what I do. I round up instead of doing these, direct numbers. So basically, it was $4,700 that I spent. So then, I left there and I went to a Love's that was 48 miles away. And this was Friday night. When I woke up Saturday morning, my APU had the red triangle of death with the ALT code. So I'm like, man, it just seemed like if it's not one thing, it's another. So I took off the bottom part and the top part, checked the fuse. Fuse was fine. I checked all the wiring on the alternator. Everything, there was no corrosion, nothing like that. I even cleaned it all off, hooked everything back up. I manually turned it with my hand to make sure, if the pulley and everything still was running right. The belt still was good. Now, while I was out there on Thursday night, you out there and I'm listening like crazy for any type of noise. Somebody messing with the truck, somebody trying to mess with me, whatever, whatnot. And I did hear my alternator making noises. And I was like, oops. I was telling my wife earlier, because I heard the same noise like that the day before too. That Wednesday night, I heard it too. And I told my wife, yeah, man, I'm going to have to get my APU checked on because it's making some noises. I'm hearing some noises in there. Something ain't right because I'm hearing some noises, right? So I was telling her, and he said, well, I thought you were, they checked it all out. They did the PM on. I said, they did, but that was back in April. We at the end of August now. Stuff can happen just like that, So, I mean, and I was hearing noises. I said, well, when I take my truck to the shop next week, because I was scheduled for the 9th, I was going to have them just, check out everything. Well, that also did not last until next week. So I'm like, man, here we go now. Checked all the fuses. Fuse was fine. I cleaned off everything, all the connectors. Make sure all the connectors and stuff was good. I'm like, yep. Alternator then went out up on it. I'm like, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. So now I got to run my truck. I'm just running my truck. I didn't run it this morning. I didn't start my truck up to 3:30 p.m. And then, so I'm trying to wait till about 6:30 7 o'clock, then I turn it off, and it's kind of cool, and I just have the windows up tonight, so I'm not running it all night long and things like that. So now I got to get my APU looked at. So when I make it back to the house next week, sometime, I don't know when, but it's gonna be sometime next week. When I make it back to the house, I'm gonna take it to one of my other guys that be working on my trucks. He doesn't do nothing on the inside of the engine, but he could do everything on the outside of the engine. I told y'all about Mr. Leon before. He can do everything on the outside of your engine. He does not do nothing on the inside of your engine though. So your fuel pumps, water pumps, starters, oil pumps, hoses, clamps, turbos. You can do everything on the outside of your engine. Brakes on your truck. He can do everything on the outside. He does not do nothing on the inside. Hoses, that's all those particular stuff. You know what I'm saying? So fittings, everything on the outside. Air conditioning, all that kind of good stuff. Nothing on the inside. He can do the change out the radiators, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Flank clutches. He could do all that. He's been working for the school system for years on all their equipment, you know, on all the equipment, all the diesel engines, buses, all those kind of good stuff. So yeah, so now I got to get my alternator fixed. And when he check it out, now this is the problem. I don't want to buy the alternator now before I see him. So I'd rather wait till I see him. He tests everything out and make sure that it's the alternator. And I may need to get a pulley. And what I'll probably do is, if it is the alternator, I'm going ahead and gonna get a new alternator, a new pulley, and a new belt while I'm there. And I might as well go ahead and get everything for another oil change and have them do the whole oil change, put on a new belt, new pulley, new alternator. I might as well just go ahead and just let them do all that particular stuff on it. So that way I don't have that to worry about. You know, it's already done, the next PM on it. Well, it's not time for it yet. It's definitely not time for it yet. But since doing all that, he already gonna have everything open up, might as well go ahead and, you know, have him do everything. But I didn't want to buy the alternator because you can't return the alternator. Okay, you can't return it. Once you bought it, it's yours. Now, if I buy it, it don't matter. Even if I don't need it, you know, I can go ahead and just buy it. And even though I don't need it, I just keep it inside my truck because it's gonna go out one day. All this stuff on this truck is for 2021. Everything on this truck is for 2021. That means stuff is going to start to go anyway. You know, eventually my alternator in the truck is going to go. You know, we reaching almost 600,000 miles. So you might as well start preparing for a new alternator, a new starter, a new fuel pump, a new water pump. I got to get ready to change all my hoses because it's still going to be all the original hoses and stuff. Flush out the radiator. Make sure all that particular stuff good. Check all my other lines. Check all the fuel lines, all my coolant lines. I might as well just go ahead and just do all that too, right? You know, because I had to do the, y'all remember I had to do the heater core and change out the coolant lines and stuff for the heater core and with a new heater core too. Because where it's open, well, you might as well just go ahead and do it, right? And even though they said that, okay, it was a hose in the clamp that was causing it, and I was just like, well, man, it's, you know, it's already open. You know, it's already open, you know, because at first I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just have them do this and do this and do that, right? So then afterwards, when I called them back to go ahead and just give them the approval to do it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, just go ahead and just change everything. Go ahead and change everything because the time it takes to do it. And again, like I said, man, I don't like to be broke down on the side of the road. That's why I do this stuff, because I don't like to be broke down on the side of the road. Listen, I was broke down on the side of the road. I had some iffy stuff with these two dudes that was messing with me and things like that. So and then I was on the side of a mountain. I didn't have no cell phone signal. I had to walk like a mile and a half up, down. I did about a good 6-7 miles in 26-hour period of time, walking up the hill, down the hill and stuff. You know, I'd rather not be broke down. I'd rather not. If I just go ahead and just plan for everything, okay. And then the outrageous price you got to pay for parts, that's the other thing. And then you got to get a hot shot over to you or to the shop, especially if stuff is out of the way. And if I'm in South Carolina and the part had to come from Atlanta, Georgia. See what I'm saying? So you wind up paying a whole lot more. Because you say, okay, I just paid $4,700 for a new DEF pump. And you be like, man, do a DEF pump cost all that? No, DEF pump does not cost that much. But just for the guy to come out, like $1,100, just for him to come out to see that it's the DEF pump. So now you got to pay that twice. So that's $2,200 just for that. And then the $1,800 for the part, which the DEF pump don't cost $1,800, but they gonna mark it up on top of all that. And then the other $386, I might say $400 to get the hot shot part too. And there you go, $4,700. You know, I mean, if I just would have took it to a shop, or while I was getting the PM, they see that, okay, the pump is not, it's not have that much pressure, it's not pumping up. If I would have got it changed right then and there, you know, when they did when they would have done the diagnostics, I would have saved myself lots of money. I would have saved myself. But again, between that and my trailer, I say within the last 3 weeks, I done kicked out in repairs and maintenance about $7,000. Not to mention the money that I lost from the loads that I had to cancel and the downtime. We ain't gonna even talk about the downtime from the last one, because the last one I had the trailer in the shop on Wednesday. I didn't get it back to Monday. Yeah, it was, yeah. So if you want to say the revenue that I lost on top of that $7,000 in repairs that I have done on it, you talking about easily $12,000 to $13,000 I lost in 3 weeks. So when I tell people, and I'm trying to tell some of my homeboys that's trying to get out here, I'm saying, listen, man, you got to be ready for this. You got to know that this can happen. So all the money that I had my business made, I used all of that. Then I went inside my maintenance that I've been saving up that I was not using at all throughout the time since I first started. I had to wind up using the majority of that these last 3 weeks for that $7,000. So that's how that works. So now I'm back down to a couple thousands of dollars left to run until I make some money. And not to mention, on the 4th, my insurance is due. So I have to the 4th to pay it. So that's $2,000 right there I have to pay on the 4th. Then I got to pay for my trailer rental, which is $500. So by next Thursday, that's another $2,600 that I have to pay on top of all that. Right, and then, like I said, I just used all the money inside my business. So only thing I got left is the couple thousands of dollars I have left inside my maintenance account. Luckily, it is enough to cover all those expenses. So it is enough money for me to pay my bills. But by the time I pay all my bills, that $2,600, by the time I pay all of that, I'm only gonna be left with about $1,800 left after that, right? Because I had just a little bit over $10,000 I had saved up for inside my checking that my business made and inside my maintenance account. So yeah, just that quickly, you say, hey, well, I got $10,000, man. That $10,000 can go quick. Okay, that can go quick. Now I can run. I got a load I'm picking up tomorrow, which is Labor Day. And I'm going to be running all week. So yeah, I'm going to be making some money. All right. But I've used the money that I have to pay all the bills. And now all the money that I'm making is going to go back inside the business and money's gonna go back inside of maintenance. So by the end of the week, I have another $1,000 inside my maintenance account, and I have another $1,000 inside my checking account on top of all that particular stuff. Now, I could save more money if I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna use my personal account and I just won't pay myself this week and use the money I have saved up inside my personal account for all my personal expenses. So that way my business can have a little bit more money, which I might just do that. So this may be the first week that I don't take any pay, just so I can get more funds inside my business account, inside my checking account for any more stuff. Because I have not even paid to fix the APU unit on it yet. So I'm thinking between the parts and how much I'm gonna give my guy for doing all that, you're talking about maybe $1,000 for everything, for the PM to change out the belts, you know, the belt tensioner and the alternator, and pay him for doing probably like another $1,000 in services. So I may not take no money, I may not pay myself this week, and just put all that money in my business to put my build my business back up, build the maintenance account back up, build the business checking account back up, because I'm buying me another trailer by the end of this month. So when you got to go through all that, man, you just like, man, Jesus, man. Then I was calling my family out this time, and thank God for my family for support. You know, because you start thinking these things all inside your head. You just start thinking, you're going through all this for the heads. And these last 3 weeks, it's been hard, man. It's been hard because stuff was going pretty good. Then you got hit with the breakdown bug. So you get hit with the breakdown board, you know, your mind start doing it. And you're like, man, the cost of all this stuff, getting broke down on the road, stuff that you know that, hey, if you was home, it'd be half that price. Instead, you got to pay these prices while you're out here on the road. You got to find shops. You got to do all this other particular stuff while you're out here on the road. You know, but thank God I got family support, man. You know, I got an uncle and aunt to talk to and help me out in time of need. I got my mom and dad to talk to and help me out in the time of need. You know, I got my wife talking to me, helping me out in my time of need. I got my friends I'm calling. They helping me out and talking to me in my time of need. You know, they taking time out of their time to help me in any way that they can. I appreciate that. So sometimes, yeah, you're out here on the road. You know, it's good to have you some nice support, a support system while you're out here. Somebody to tell you that, hey, no, listen, you are doing good. You have been making money. It just you got hit with the injury, the breakdown bug. So when you know that, it's like, listen, okay, I know it's not going to be like that because I was already out here for 3 months without all these breakdowns, right? And I just got hit with it. So because I just got hit with it, you know, you just start thinking, man, this. I can't say that it's not worth it because I'm making money. So I can't say it's not like it's not worth it. You can't be like, well, is it even worth getting out here in 2025? It all depends on you. You know, that all depends on you. You can look at how much money that you are making or that you're trying to make and ask yourself, is it worth being out here making that type of money? Is it worth being out here? Going on in 4 months of my authority being active. Not even me being, because I didn't even get started to the end. My authority went active May 2nd. I didn't get started running to like May 20 something, May 21st, something like that. So really June, July, August, three full months, you know, and to be able to save up over 10K that my business made and in maintenance and still pay myself $1,800 a week. Okay, so if you look at that, for me, that's enough money for me to be out here. It really is. In 3 weeks period of time, I was able to save up that much of money, still pay myself $1,800. So I can say, yeah, for me, it's worth being out here because I'm making money. I can make a lot more money once I get 6 months and I can sign on. I didn't sign on with every broker that I could sign on with my authority being 4 months old, right? And even those brokers, when I book loads for those other brokers, they pay a lot more money than what C.H. Robinson was paying me and TQL was paying me. I mean, they beating their prices by at least 250 to 350 bucks. Okay, running the same areas, going to the same cities. So, and I see other brokers I can get on with when I'm at 6 months, and I'm looking at making sure that they got loads in the area that I run. I still look like that, but I have a contract that starts in October, so I only got 1 more month worth of 100% spot market freight. After that, I go to my contract, and I'm just looking for backhauls, 2 backhauls that I'm looking for to get me back up to where my contract is at. So I'm only going to be on the spot market for 2 loads, so I don't need a big broker pool, until next year if I don't have myself another contract when this contract is over with. But my plan is to have another contract I can get into for the other 5 months that I'm out besides this contract, because the contract I got is only for 7 months. So I only got 1 more month left of being out here on the road and stuff like this. So, which I'm okay with. I'm okay. So I got 1 more month, be out here on the road, and then make sure that my truck is good to go. Which now, because he already did the full diagnostic check on every single thing and stuff like this. Only thing that he recommended was my fan clutch is starting to squeal a little bit. Everything else is still tight, it's still good. He said, but that's an early sign that, okay, probably within your next 75,000 to 100,000 miles, you want to think about getting your fan clutch replaced. So start saving up for it now, or maybe you're making some money, buy it now and then put it on later, or buy it now so at least you do have it. So if it doesn't go the whole 75,000 miles, you have one, and you just got to make it to a shop to have them put it on and things like that. But that was the only thing that he found when he did the full diagnostic check on the truck. So that was the other thing about it. I'm paying for this diagnostic test, 350 bucks for a diagnostic check. No, check every single thing. I had to check everything. I mean, everything. Then I got my front viewer image for my collision mitigation system that is bringing up close. He said maybe it's the camera in front that needs to be replaced. Maybe it's some debris on it. But, you can take it to the dealership and they can put in a new camera on it if it's the camera. So it's just the camera for my viewer stuff to tell me the distance and lane departure and all this other kind of stuff like that. That's nothing to do with how the truck runs and how the truck operates. So I don't have that to worry about. So yeah, man. So now I got the alternator on the APU, and that was the update with how the truck been doing with the new depth pump that was installed in it and everything. So, man, y'all be blessed. I gotta get ready for my Hurricanes playing Notre Dame tonight, 7:30. I'll talk to y'all later.